Hare Krishna, Namaste, Chapter 10, entitled as Vibhuti Yoga. Sloka 12 and 13. Arjuna uvāca paraṁ brahma paraṁ dhāma pavitraṁ paramam bhavān puruṣaṁ śāśvataṁ divyam ādi-devam ajaṁ vibhum āhus tvām ṛṣayaḥ sarve devarṣir nāradas tathā asito devalo vyāsaḥ svayaṁ caiva bravīṣi. Arjuna, having heard very attentively so far what Krishna has narrated about his auspicious qualities, his lordship, which is completely different from everything else, which makes Krishna a unique personality, and not only that, it also generates a unsurpassed bliss for the listener. Arjuna's thirst for wanting to hear greater elaboration on this subject has increased. So he prays to Krishna to tell more on this topic of Krishna's auspicious qualities, opulences, and his lordship. So, based on that, in next few slokas, Arjuna prays Krishna by first acknowledging that whatever he heard, and then places his request in a prayerful mood. Let's see the word by word and the translation before we can get into the subject. Arjuna uvāca, Arjuna said, bhavān, you, paraṁ brahma, the supreme truth, absolute truth, Brahman, that is stated in the Vedas, paraṁ dhāma, supreme sustenance, paramam pavitraṁ, the best of purifiers, sarve ṛṣayaḥ, all the seers of truth, tvām, you, śāśvataṁ, the eternal, divyam, transcendental, puruṣaṁ, the Supreme Personality, ādi-devam, the original Lord, ajaṁ, unborn, vibhum, greatest, āhus, say, tathā, also, devarṣir nāradas, the divine sage Narada, asito, asita, devalo, devala, vyāsaḥ, the great sage Vyāsa, āhus, speak. Svayaṁ evacha, and yourself too may bravīṣi, proclaim to me. Translation. Arjuna said, you are the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the ultimate abode, the purest, the absolute truth. You are the eternal, transcendental, original person, the unborn, the greatest. All the great sages such as Narada, asito, devalo, and Vyāsa confirm this truth about you, and now you yourself are declaring it to me. There are total of 7 slokas that Arjuna speaks, that is 12th sloka through 18th sloka. The first part of the set of slokas, Arjuna acknowledges so far what Krishna has said, and then the second part is his placing his request. In these 2 slokas, 12 and 13, we can see this in 3 parts. The first part is based on the Vedas. Arjuna says, that whatever you said is also there in the Vedas. And the second part is, whatever is there in the Vedas is also confirmed by the great rishis. And the third part is, whatever the rishis said as per the Vedas is the same thing that you also said to me, Krishna. So Vedas, the great seers, the rishis, and then Krishna. Now let's understand the sloka. The first half of the 12th sloka is based on the Vedas. Paraṁ brahma, paraṁ dhāma, pavitraṁ, paramam bhavān. Bhavān, you are the Supreme Brahman. That is absolute truth. Bhavān, you, Supreme dhāma, the Supreme abode. Bhavān, you, paramam pavitraṁ, the Supreme Purifier. Param Brahma Bhavān. For people like us who are in one sense distanced from God, to understand God is great, is supreme, is not going to be difficult. But for Arjuna to say Param Brahma Bhavān, you are the supreme absolute truth, is quite significant, because Krishna is right standing in front of Arjuna as a chariot driver. And Arjuna, unlike us, who doesn't have much of qualification, therefore we don't compare ourselves with Krishna. But Arjuna is a great personality, is not an ordinary person. For such person to acknowledge and say Param Brahma Bhavān is very significant. So what is Brahmam? Yato va imani bhutani jayante yena jatani jivanti yat prayanti abhisam vishanti tat vijñāsasva tat brahmeti. From whom all these things, sentient and non-sentient, come or born, by whom everything is sustained and maintained, when everything perishes, in whom they all abide, that is Brahmam, Param Brahmam. And who is that Param Brahmam? Bhavān, you Krishna. Also, the same Taittiriya Upanishad says, Brahmavit apnoti param. He who knows Brahmam clearly reaches Brahmam. Also in Mundaka Upanishad, Sayo havai tat paramam brahma veda brahmaiva bhavati. One who knows Brahmam will become like Brahmam. Again, it doesn't mean that we all become God. What it means is that we also derive some qualities of God. From these quotations we can see that what is Brahmam? Param Brahmam Bhavān. That Brahmam is none other than Krishna, the Supreme Absolute Truth, as stated in the Upanishads. Next, Param Dhāma. As per the Amarakosham, the Sanskrit dictionary, Dhāma refers to various things. Dhāma means residence, house, body, can also refer to light, and also glory. Various acharyas have interpreted this Dhāma in different ways, adding more value to this sloka. One interpretation is where Dhāma as body, that Krishna has a very beautiful, attractive, transcendental body form. In other words, it defeats that God doesn't have a form. He doesn't have a form like us, which is made of the material elements. His form is spiritual. Param Dhāma. Also, another interpretation is he is a shelter of all things dhāma. One cannot exist without him. And another interpretation of paraṁ dhāma is a transcendental divine light. It is said that atayat ataha paro divya jyoti dīpyate in Chandogya Upanishad, which means the transcendental light, that Supreme Lord who eliminates, stands above everything. Also, there's another statement, param jyoti rupa sampadya svena rupena avinispadyate. By reaching that supreme jyotis, the light, the transcendental divine light, one becomes completely free from all material contamination and be in their essential spiritual nature. And in Brihadaranyaka Upanishad, there is a statement says, tat deva jyotisam jyotihi, that all the gods worship him as the light of lights. That supreme brahman, that supreme jyotis is also supremely purest, pavitraṁ. That we will see in our next session. Param brahma param dhāma, pavitraṁ paramam bhavān, puruṣaṁ śāśvataṁ divyam, ādi-devam ajaṁ vibhum, āhus tvām ṛṣayaḥ sarve, devarṣir nāradas tathā, asito devalo vyāsaḥ, svayaṁ caiva bravīṣi me. Namaste. Hare Krishna.